you. Don't you dare to congregate, I'm right for you. Plastic faces everywhere, made just for you.
Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface and Michael Myers collectors. Thank you for joining me here on the channel again today on this Sunday for a new video. Today's gonna be my new Scream Theory video. Was Dewey Riley a secret Ghostface in Scream 1996 and the franchise? Because there's some evidence that suggests that he could have been involved with all that. But before we start, please hit the like and subscribe button. Please, it really helps us out a lot in the algorithm. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can keep making more horror content here on the channel. Smash the bell notification to be notified when I upload new videos. And let's begin. So, yeah, this theory, it's been going around for a while, since pretty much the movie came out, you know? I was pretty shocked the first time I saw Scream back in 96, 97, that he wasn't involved, because there was a lot of a lot of evidence that pointed to Dewey being involved in a lot of, he was in a lot of the right places at the right time, you know. And, just gotta, I always wondered who was that Ghostface that was stalking Sydney and Tatum, that was in the bush while they were talking on the front porch. Or the Ghostface that was stalking them in the grocery store. You see, that all that stuff is weird. Like, who the hell was that, And I found this awesome, cool little article right here on Ranker. No, not Ranker. It's on some website. Yeah, it's called Ranker. Vote on everything. It's called According to this theory, Dewey is the serial killer mastermind in Scream. And like I said, yeah, this theory has been going around for a while, but they have a lot of good evidence right here. So if you want to check it out yourself, it's on ranker.com. It's on ranker.com, and it's called According to this theory, Dewey is the serial killer mastermind in Scream. And we're going to be taking a look at a few of the bullet points that pinpoint to some pretty good evidence that he could have been involved in this somehow or some way. So let's begin. The first one is going to be the culprit wears police issue shoes. The culprit wears police issue shoes. Yes. Everyone knows that Ghostface wears boots. In the older movies, he didn't wear Doc Martens like he does now with the new Scream 5, Scream 6 and stuff. He wore like regular, like generic, everyday, just black boots, so you couldn't really tell who the killer was. But I mean Billy, who was Ghostface in that movie, had some pretty different boots though than the police issue looking boots. And then later we find out that Billy and Stu were really Ghostface, So like the boots thing is interesting, but it's not really a big thing because everyone was wearing boots and at that time. But let's see what it says here. So number one, the culprit wears police issue shoes. Let's go over what it says. Numerous clues hinting towards Dewey's involvement in the Ghostface incidents are sprinkled throughout the first Scream film. You see? That's what I was saying. Some are massive, while others are more subtle. One of the more subtle hints, as many fans of the film have pointed out, is Ghostface's police issue shoes, the same ones worn by Dewey. Which, I mean, what? If those are the boots, though, it's crazy. I'm thinking about it because, I mean, if Ghostface is wearing police issue boots in the first Scream, then why does he have like Billy's boots sometimes? Like especially in the bathroom scene when Sydney's alone and you see like Billy's style of boots hit the floor, and then the robe's starting to go down before Sydney runs out of the bathroom as she gets attacked. So that's kind of weird, but let's keep going. The same ones worn by Dewey. Modern day online research easily reveals a tactical wear that Woodsboro officers used to suit up, but in 1996, internet shopping was hardly so thorough. Insular information was more than a few seconds away to become familiar with police footwear. So you have to know someone on the force. As such, Dewey likely gave Billy and Stu police boots in order to further master it. Hey, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense now. Yeah, so I take back what I said of Ghostface having different boots. It makes sense now because Dewey, if he was involved, he could have been lending them police issued boots to throw everyone off track, you know. So that makes sense. It even says right here. I'm gonna read it one more time. You'd have to know someone on the force. As such, Dewey likely gave Billy and Stu police boots in order to further mask their identities. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So if Billy and Stu and Dewey were all working together, then yeah, of course Dewey, who's on the force, could get them a pair of boots, you know, to cover the tracks. So it makes sense. It makes sense. I take back what I said earlier. I take back what I said. So yeah. Bam, that's what is it? Evidence number 1. The culprit wears police issue shoes. All right, now let's go to number 2. He suffers the same damage as Billy and Stu. Dewey suffers the same damage as Billy and Stu. You know what's crazy is when I first saw Scream, it was crazy that Dewey only got stabbed in the back. Like Ghostface only just stabbed him in the back, and as Dewey collapses on the floor and Ghostface walks out of the house and pulls the knife from his back, like he doesn't continue finishing him off, you know? Like I always found that crazy. Like why didn't Ghostface fully kill Dewey? Or even inside the house before Dewey walked out, why did he let him just get away with only a knife stab in the back? That was always interesting, and that's one of the things back when I was younger, when I first saw the movie in the 90s, in the late 90s, 96, 97, whatever. I honestly thought he could have been involved, you know, because his injury was very minor and stuff, you know. It was like the least like crazy looking injury, you know. He was just stabbed in the back and collapsed, you know. It's like that's kind of suspicious, you know, especially of the police officer. Yeah, it's crazy. Why did he? Yeah, no, it never made sense to me. Why couldn't he have just finished them off inside the house and not let them walk out? That kind of, you know, that's suspect. But let's see what it says right here. Let's see what it says. He suffers the same damage as Billy and Stu. An interesting clue hinting that Dewey is Billy and Stu's puppet master. I thought we already had our puppet master Roman. Huh? An interesting clue hinting that Dewey is Billy and Stu's puppet master is that Dewey is harmed in the same manner as the teenagers who knife one another to fake their victimhood. Billy and Stu explain that if they both have enough shallow punctures, no one will suspect they're actually the culprits. Damn, Billy. Damn, only a cop could have told you that, huh? Similarly, Dewey has shallow knife punctures on his back and a broken arm, but nothing life-threatening. You see? Nothing like... Exactly. Why, after they literally rip apart their other targets, would Billy and Stu take it easy on Dewey unless he was also involved in their plot? You see? That's what I mean, you know? Literally, you know? But nothing life-threatening. Why, after they literally rip apart their other targets, would Billy and Stu take it easy on Dewey unless he was also involved in their plot? Yeah, like I said, yeah, that is suspect. That is very suspect. Dewey, like I said, how come they didn't finish him off inside the house instead of letting him walk out all theatrically to, you know, towards Sydney, and then he falls on the floor and Ghostface pulls the knife back out from his back. You know, come on. When you're gonna kill someone, you're gonna kill them on the spot. You know, you're not gonna let them get away, especially if it's a cop. But yeah, that's another reason why I always felt Dewey was suspect in Scream 96. He suffers the same damage as Billy and Stu. Number 3, he reaches Sydney's house impossibly fast. Yeah, that is a trip, right? When Sydney's getting attacked in her house after she falls asleep and she's waiting for Tatum to pick her up, as Tatum is at the video store, remember? Looking at Tom Cruise or something. Yeah, Sydney wakes up and then she gets a call from the ghost, you know that. Hello, Sydney. A scary night for a movie with all the murders and all. And she thinks it's Randy and she doesn't take him serious at first until he starts, you know, talking crazy shit, you know, about her mom and stuff like that. Yeah, that part is crazy, man. That part is crazy because when Ghostface is on the when Sydney opens the closet door and locks it so Ghostface can't get in, as Ghostface right there just swinging his knife through the open crack of the door, and Sydney starts typing to the operator on the computer that she needs help. Ghostface sees that, and you watch the movie, he looks and he kind of like gives a little head nod and he's looking, and then he's gone. Next thing you know, he's gone, right? And then Sydney, wait, I think Billy walks in first into her room and tries to comfort her. He drops the phone, and that's when she's all like shocked, and she runs back out downstairs to the house, and that's where Dewey's right there holding the costume. Like, that is so suspect. He was right there. He was there in seconds, you know? He was there in seconds, like they knew what was about to go down, you know? Like, it was pointless for her to even, like, what is it? Even type out the SOS message to the operator on the computer, because the cop, literally, Dewey the cop was there, literally, like, just sitting around waiting for this whole thing to go down, you know? But let's see what it says here. Let's see what it says. Let's see what they got to say about it. All right, so 3, he reaches Sydney's house impossibly fast. Sydney Prescott lives in the middle of nowhere, exactly. In the middle of nowhere, Woodsboro, you know, hills, trees, you know, you get lost. Sydney Prescott lives in the middle of nowhere. Her father's house is surrounded by woods, right? Like, and rolling green hills, and the impressive helicopter shot that ends the film. It's clear that no one lives within a mile of the family, so how does Deputy Dewey reach her house so quickly after she tries to make an online call to 911? 911 sounds just too Twin Towery. You gotta keep it 911 old school. When Sydney is being chased through her home by Ghostface, she tries to call 911 from her computer before the intruder stops her. She escapes his grasp and reaches the front door, where she finds Dewey waiting and holding the Ghostface mask. Yeah, that's just suspect. That's suspect. You know, that when you first see that movie, you're like, it's the cop. It's the cop and someone else. Fans are suspicious of Dewey's quick arrival. While he may have simply been watching out for his sister's friend, he also may have given Billy a ride to the remote home. Yeah, you see, because like it says right here, she lives in the hills and surrounded by woods and stuff, and trees and stuff, and you could get lost up there. It's like, how the hell did the cops reach that place so quick, you know? It's crazy. Yeah, that's another reason why Dewey is suspect in Scream 1996. Next one, number 4. He's often conveniently incapacitated. He's often conveniently incapacitated. So yeah, Dewey, in every Scream movie since the first one, except, you know, Scream 5, but that could change, you know. But yeah, it's Dewey in every movie is always hurt, but never dies. That's crazy, right? He's always hurt, but never dies. Let's see what it says here. One of the many running themes of the Scream franchise is that Deputy Dewey is absolutely no help in catching masked offenders. In every film, he is either knocked out or harmed, or he sleeps through every important moment. Yep. Some fans, like Redditor Uzion Hyom, I'm sorry if I butchered that, believe this is all purposeful. He is always either incapacitated or otherwise busy during the final showdown. Yeah, that is suspect as hell, right? Like, he should be here, but he's not, right? This is the big one for me. During the time he could be acting, if he is in on it, he's nothing. Oh, wait, what? He is always either incapacitated or otherwise busy during the final showdown. This is the big one for me. During this time, he could be acting. He could be acting if he's in on it. He has nothing to lose with either side. He could be waiting for them to finish so that he can take the side of the one that wins. Yeah. You see, Billy always missing MIA on the action, right? During the final showdown, during the whole like monologue of the killer and why they're doing this, you know, he's never there for that, really, right? Never. Let me see. Scream. No, never. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. He could just be missing in action during all that. So yeah, he could come out victorious with whatever side he chooses to be on that one. You know, that is very suspect. Yeah. This is crazy. He is always either incapacitated or otherwise busy during the final showdown. You see, yeah, he's not like in Scream 1. He's knocked out during the whole. What is it? Sydney and Stu explaining their motives. Scream 2. Yeah, he's knocked out because he got stabbed by Mrs. Loomis or Mickey in the recording studio in the college. Scream 3. Roman and Sydney are locked in that secret room, and him and Gail are stuck on the other room trying to get in. So yeah, he's not there on that one either. Scream 4. Scream 4. Yep, he's not there either during the whole monologue either with Sydney and Jill and Charlie. Yeah, that is suspect, right? So he could just get there and be like, oh, you know, play the whole like victim and play the whole cop part, you know, and just side with whatever side is victorious, you know. Yeah. Next one. Number 5, he's always near the action. Yeah, he's always somehow near everywhere there's a murder or something, you know? It's crazy. Dewey, come on. What's going on, Dewey? All right, 5. He's always near the action. In most of Scream's harrowing scenes, Dewey arrives immediately before or after the appearance of Ghostface. Whether he's popping up at Sydney's house right after she's set upon by Billy, or if he's at the school where the principal was eviscerated. Dewey is always nearby. Sorry, I butchered that word. Fuck, I keep fucking up. Let me reread that. In most of Scream's harrowing scenes, Dewey arrives immediately before or after the appearance of Ghostface. Whether he's popping up at Sydney's house right after she's set up by Billy, or if he's at the school where the principal was eviscerated. Dewey is always nearby. Yeah, Dewey is always nearby. Always nearby. He's always watching, right? He's always watching, like he's making the plays, like a football game. Okay, we're gonna get this person later, or something like that, you know. Just writing down things about them, you know, like where do they go, where you can meet them, where you could catch them alone, you know. Dewey is always nearby. More so than Billy or Stu, Dewey is akin to Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and the lesser slashers that followed in their lumbering footsteps. Like those characters, Dewey is nearly omnipresent and is always exactly where you don't want him to be. Whether he's taking a hands-on approach to the slangs or orchestrating them himself, he's nearly constant presence at the scenes is proof of his involvement. Yeah, that is suspect, you know? Like, yeah, Jason, Michael, these guys watch their prey. They're nearby, like you wouldn't even notice them, but they're like nearby, hiding behind the tree or something, watching you, you know? Jason and Michael. Ghostface can't really do that, you know, because Ghostface is a mystery killer, you know? It's a whodunit. So what they gotta do is they gotta have someone that's right there that could fit in with everyone else, you know? And they could be setting the plays right under people's noses, which is crazy. That is crazy as hell. That is crazy. His presence is he's omnipresent. He's always there, you know? He's like he's like the he's like Ghostface's right-hand man, you know, that doesn't have to dress up as Ghostface, but he's right there watching the victims and reporting back to Ghostface where he could catch them, you know, and giving Ghostface information about them, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy, yeah. Yeah, because like I said earlier, Ghostface can't really do all that where he could just be in broad daylight with the whole robe and mask, you know, stalking someone, you know, like Jason and Michael could. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yep. All right. Number 6. Oh, number 6 is a crazy one. Number 6 is a crazy one. Number 6 is a crazy one, y'all, and this one makes a lot of sense too. It's like it's so psychotic. He doesn't mourn his sister's demise. Right? Like in the first movie, it was such a trip that he didn't even cry or anything. It was so weird that they didn't even show him find his sister dead. To me, you know, that kind of felt like, oh, this guy must be a killer too, you know, because in any movie, to prove someone's innocence, they would find someone's body, you know, they would find someone's body, so, you know, to raise the stakes, you know, to show you that, hey, this person's not the killer, it's someone else, you know. And with Dewey, you never get that. You never see him react to his sister's dead body or anything, or even like react to her death at all. At all. Not even in the sequels, or only in like Scream 4 and 5, where they're like all late, you know, like all late, they're touching up on that. And I think him reacting to Tatum was a deleted scene also in Scream 4. So he doesn't even get to do it in that movie, only in a deleted scene, which canonically is not in the movie. It was shot for the movie, but didn't make it in the final cut. In Scream 5, that's the only time that we even, and it's so subtle. It's just a rose and her name on a plaque. Yeah, but let's see what this says. Something many fans find strange about Dewey is the way he mourns the loss of his sister, Tatum, after her neck is broken by a garage door. This is to say he doesn't mourn her at all. Some believe he merely saw his own sister as collateral damage in an obsessive conquest for her best friend Sydney. One theory about Dewey's puppeteering in Scream films says that he never mourned Tatum because he was implicit in her end. Whether or not he gave Billy and Stu explicit instructions to take her out is unclear, but he was behind the slangs. He had to assume his sister. But if he was behind the slangs, he had to assume his sister would eventually become a target. Yeah, he's like, might as well, you know, do it myself. Yeah, that's crazy. He never, ever hear about him talking about Tatum. And in Scream 5, he doesn't even talk about her. He just has a plaque there, a memorial for her. That's crazy, yeah. That was always wild to me. Number 7, he provides Billy with an alibi by taking him into custody. One of Scream's major twists occurs near the middle when Billy is taken into custody by Dewey after he's found sulking around Sydney's place with a cell phone in his pocket. Dewey calls him in as the main Ghostface suspect, meaning Billy is under surveillance when Sydney gets a call from the voice masked killer. By bringing Billy into the station, Dewey actively gives Sydney's ex an alibi. This throws everyone off of Billy's trail and gives Stu a chance to call Sydney so Billy can be released. While the audience assumes that Stu makes the call while Billy is locked up, Dewey is in his room with the door closed when the call comes in. He doesn't even leave the room until the call is finished, even though both Sydney and Tatum are clearly agitated throughout the conversation. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah. And also in the morning scene when they're having breakfast and they're seeing Cotton Weary on the TV getting taken a court or something, hauled off to court. What is it? Dewey says something on the lines of like, "Oh yeah, we already checked the phone records. Billy didn't make those calls. He's innocent." Yeah, straight giving him an alibi, a getaway and stuff. That's wild. All right, number 8. He's close to every culprit. He is close to every culprit. Dewey Riley. He is close to every culprit. All right, let's take a look at it. He is close to every culprit. Although Billy and Stu failed to take out Sidney by the end of Scream, a bevy of copycats pick up their torch in the successive films, all attempting to bring down the Scream Queen. Redditor Zion Hyam theorizes, I'm sorry if I keep butchering that name, that he keeps theorizing that Dewey is behind every version of Ghostface in the franchise. In every movie, he has been very close to Ghostface without even getting targeted. The only times he's ever been harmed, bearing the Billy Loomis and Stu Macher slangs, he has been in view of other characters. Even then, it would be strange to believe that he was in front of the camera that Gale put there. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, he somehow knows. He somehow knows the people that are Ghostface eventually. You know, he somehow has a relationship, a working relation. Well, not a working, but he somehow has some kind of social relationship with the people that end up being Ghostface somehow, right? That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right. Number 9. He's obsessed with Sidney. This is a big one, yo. This is a big one because in Scream 96, there's like such big hints that Dewey's simping for Sidney. Like he totally has a thing for her, you know? Even though he's like 25 and she's like 17. But yeah, it's so obvious though the way he treats her and cares for her. Like, yeah, dude, this guy's got more than just a brotherly relationship with her. Oh, okay. Number 9, he's obsessed with Sidney. Obsession is proof that Deputy Dewey orchestrated a string of teen slayings. But it's certainly Billy and Stu's motivation, as well as that of every character who takes on the Ghostface mantle. Throughout the Scream franchise, the only difference between Dewey and those like Stu and Jill is that Dewey is never caught. Yep, the smartest Ghostface, huh? That's why they made him the killer in Scary Movie, dude, because he probably was involved in the original Scream, right? So they just made him the killer in Scary Movie, and he gets away. Yeah, so he is never caught. The first film overtly states that Dewey is obsessed with Sidney, like I said. His crush is obvious, and although his feelings seem to change from romantic to protective and platonic, he still finds reasons to be around her as much as possible. It's entirely possible that Dewey's obsession grew until he developed a personal ultimatum. If he couldn't have her, no one could. Damn, that's crazy. Didn't they say that? Wasn't that a line in Scream 5 also when they're in the bar? Once he decided to end Sidney's life, all he had to do was find a pair of teenage foils to follow through with his plan. Yeah, this sounds like this could have been the original plan for Scream if they wouldn't have done the whole Roman thing. Imagine in Scream 3 they would have revealed that it was Dewey the whole time. That would have been awesome because you would have felt the betrayal there. You would have felt it. 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 Yeah, so yeah, dude. He was in love with her at some point. Definitely. Number 10. He knows horror movies. Even though he seems like he doesn't, right? Yeah. And honestly, I think I find that really similar to Richie in Scream 5, how he acts like he doesn't know horror movies when him and Sam are talking in the car on their way to Woodsboro. Like, oh yeah, like, oh, it's like he's not a horror fan. Supposedly he's not a horror fan, right? He's not into that. That's kind of like Dewey. He knows horror movies in the first movie, but you didn't expect him to know horror movies like that, you know? You didn't expect that. All right, so number 10. He knows horror movies. Let's see what this says. The conceit of Scream is that sufficient horror film knowledge enables characters to survive scenarios straight out of a slasher film. See, that's what made the first Scream movie is those rules, right? That you had to follow those rules. You follow those rules correctly, you survive the movie. Yeah. So the conceit of Scream is that sufficient horror film knowledge enables characters to survive scenarios straight out of a slasher film. However, the inversive is also true. Billy and Stu have studied the bloodiest of slasher flicks, and they play by the rules, something that gives them an upper hand when dealing with their friends. Even though Dewey doesn't brag about his horror knowledge as much as a video store clerk Randy, He's obviously a student of the genre. Not only does Dewey rattle off the plot of The Town That Dreaded Sundown, yep, that's an awesome movie. But he never consummates his burgeoning relationship with Gale Weathers, the number one rule of horror movies. Yeah, he doesn't give himself away. You know, he's very smart. You know, and that dude, yeah, like I said, he's kind of keen to Richie in Scream 5, where he acts like he doesn't know horror movies. You know, but he later on it does that. He's a freaking crazy fan collector. And same thing with Dewey, is that he doesn't give too much away that he knows about horror movies, but there's little subtleties here and there that shows you that he's a student of the genre, as it says right here. All right, number 11, and let me see, hold on. Yeah, okay, right one. I thought I was on the wrong one. Number 11, he and Ghostface share an ice cream connection. Remember what I said earlier? I always wondered who that Ghostface was that's stalking them in the grocery store while they're by the ice cream coolers. Well, this could be a clue to that. 11. He and Ghostface share an ice cream connection. This theory is based on location, timing, and semiotics. When Sidney and Tatum are shopping for snacks in the grocery store, they're clearly being tailed by Ghostface. Yup. Which you also see Ghostface in the bushes near Tatum's house, stalking them as well. So remember that. Could that have been Dewey too? Okay, so yeah, the theory is based on location, timing, and semiotics. When Sidney and Tatum are shopping for snacks in the grocery store, they're clearly being tailed by Ghostface, whose reflection is visible in the ice cream freezer in the very next scene. Dewey is eating ice cream. Yup. I sometimes feel like Dewey was gonna be one of the another mastermind, but remember what they said? They liked David Arquette so much that they decided to keep him alive and stuff in the movies. So, you know. But damn, dude, and they could have changed his whole story too at the same time. We don't know, but damn, I feel like Dewey was like there. He was there, dude. He was a killer. He was nearly revealed as a killer almost in my eyes. Yeah. Well, this could be a coincidence. Many think the correlation is too close for comfort. Wes Craven seems to be signaling the audience to keep an eye on Dewey. Yep. The timing of the scene also supports this theory. For Dewey's ice cream to be solid, he would have to been either right around the corner or already in the shop. Yeah. From what it looks like. Remember when he drops off the girls in the little town square, and he's like, "You girls don't go too far." When they're on their way to the grocery store, it looks like it's like in proximity to the police station, because they're like near the police station, as he's talking about the town that dreaded sundown. It looks like they were in proximity to the police station and the grocery store. And yeah, for the ice cream to be fresh still. Come on, man. Come on. You gotta think. Because, like, dude, people don't put those signals in there just to fuck around, you know? They put it in there because there's something there in the story. All right. Number 12. He completely changes his tune on Gale. When Gale Weathers first appears in Woodsboro, she received. Oh yeah, he wasn't too keen on her in the beginning, right? He was kind of a jerk. He didn't like her. He was all on Sidney. He was simping for Sidney. He was on Sidney's side. He was simping for Sidney until he's like, "Hey man, I got my own girl now." Yeah, but yeah, let's keep going. When Gale Weathers first appears in Woodsboro, she receives a frosty welcome from its inhabitants. She's iced out by the police. Sidney punches her in the face, and when Gale complains, the police, especially Dewey, ignore her. Yeah. One fan theory claims that Dewey sees the reporter as a threat to his plan. Yeah, that could have been it. That could have been it. When he punched her. I mean, when Sidney punched her, he was all like praising Sidney, huh? He was like, "Where'd you learn to punch like that?" And then he even goes to Tatum's room and gives her an ice patch for her fist. And then Tatum kicks him out like, "Hey, you simp." Yeah, but Yeah, so Dewey, apparently, one fan theory claims that Dewey sees the reporter as a threat to his plan. This theory, this theory purports that Dewey was keeping Gale at arm's length throughout most of the movie, so he could evade detection, and that when they take a walk in the woods near Sydney's house, he plans to do away with her. Suddenly, however, the two are romantically involved. It's unclear whether he actually falls in love with Gale or if he's simply mirroring her feelings the way Billy mirrors Sydney's. But either way, Dewey is playing a long game. Yeah, he's trying to stay under the radar, especially since he's a cop. So he's like, best way to do it is to like keep it cool with the reporter that's gonna end up pretty much writing. If any of us survive, she's gonna be the one writing history here. So yeah, it makes sense. He's probably not even in love with her. Like I says, he's just mirroring her feelings to get her to feel like he likes her too, so he could manipulate her. Okay, here we go. Last one, number 13, and I think it's a big one and a very big one because no cop in their fucking right mind would do this shit. All right. So number 13, Billy and Stu use his piece. A piece is another name for gun. By the end of Scream, Billy and Stu have by the end of Scream, Billy and Stu have incapacitated Dewey, from stabbing him in the back, and have moved from using a kitchen knife to welding his sidearm. The pair don't acquire the piece by accident. Instead, it's part of their plan to frame Sydney's father for a rampage before he apparently offed himself with the same device. Okay, so another Redditor says, drip, drip star, theorizes. The only problem with their plan was that the arm in question was Dewey's. It was inside the house because Sydney took it off of Dewey after he'd been harmed and was lying outside on the porch. But they had no way of knowing. They had no way of knowing where Dewey would be. He left for a walk with Gale Weathers and could have gone off somewhere else. They didn't. They didn't know he'd return. Only in reality, they did because it was all a plan. The only arm being used was Dewey's. This can only mean one thing. Dewey Riley is the mastermind that arranges all of these slangs. Yeah, that's crazy because, you would think that maybe, Stu and Billy also got their own gun, So by the end, this shit went down. They would have their own, firearm for protection. But, well, in this case, for murder, because that's not protection when you're killing people. When you're killing people and they're trying to kill you back, that's self-defense. But anyway, you would think that they would get their own gun, right, Billy and Stu? But no, they still use Dewey's gun. Sydney's the one who gets the gun first, but it's very convenient, huh? That Dewey is the only cop there, right? And with the only one with the gun there, I'm kind of surprised Gale Weathers didn't have a gun herself. She was a reporter, Gale Weathers was kind of almost on par with Dr. Loomis in Scream 96, right? She was kind of like the Dr. Loomis investigating the whole thing, It was awesome. I'm surprised she didn't have her own gun. I think she even had a trench coat, nah? Or I may be mistaken. Oh, yeah, she does have a trench coat at the end in the party. That's crazy. It's that's the only gun that's used in the climax of the film, Billy and Stu use his gun. And like I said, you would think they would have their own gun, but they didn't. That's awesome. I love those theories. I love these crackpot horror movie theories that we could, just jump into and analyze. This one's been around for a while, and I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I finally got the chance to. It's always a theory that's been in my head, Like Dewey, he's so suspect, right? And I think that's probably one of the reasons why they made him the killer in the first Scary movie, because I probably feel he could have probably had a bigger part to play in being one of the killers in the first Scream. Because at the end of Scary Movie 1, he walks out of the police station and then he pretends that he's kind of like slow. And next thing you know, he's walking normal. Next thing you know, he's taking off the costume, pulls off the mustache. He's a Chad underneath all that whole cop uniform. He gets in the car with the wannabe Gail Weathers reporter, and they take off. It's like they're both planning these murders. And they go town to town planning them, and then they just get rich off the stories. You know, oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, this was a great theory. I had fun with this one. Thanks again, Hollywood Horror Film Club, again for joining me here on another video on the channel. This time 4 was Dewey Riley, a secret ghost face in Scream 1996. Like I always say, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. It gets us going up in the algorithm. Smash the bell notification to be notified when I upload new videos. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can keep making more horror content here on the channel. And follow us on Instagram at Hollywood Horror Film Club. And I'll catch y'all next time on the next video. Until then, watch another video.